All right, hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkes, and this is your best life defined. Hey, let's get right on this thing. So you see, the title of this podcast is "Thank You, Joe Rogan." If you don't know who Joe Rogan is, he is just the podcast guru of all time, as far as I'm concerned. I think he's had the number one spot for the podcast forever, and he's just a regular guy. He's kind of like me. He just wakes up every day and he does his thing. Now, I'm not Joe Rogan. All right, I'm Chris Hawkes, but the reason I'm bringing this to your attention is because what Joe doesn't know and what most of the world doesn't know is that spot's open now. Joe just signed this big ass contract for Spotify, and I have no judgments on that, man. I mean, the guy is a rock star, and he's been doing it a long time, and he deserves everything that he gets. I mean, he just works hard, and that's what hard work gets. But what a lot of people don't realize is since Joe Rogan signed off with Spotify, that's a prime opportunity for someone else to come along and grab that spot. And I think to myself, why the hell not me? Why not me? Someone's going to be the number one podcaster. Someone has to be the superstar of the podcasting universe. And I think, well, I'll just keep working at it till I get it. Because the one thing I learned from Joe Rogan is he sees his opportunities. See, he's probably catching a lot of flack by his fans for selling out to the man, selling out and, no, he's not selling out. He's making his life better. He's making his best choice. He's living his best life. Can't blame a man for that. I mean, if I take a great job just because you think it sucks that I'm moving or because I'm changing, it doesn't have anything to do with that. You have to grab the opportunities as they arrive, right? I mean, this isn't the first time I've done it. I mean, back in 80, when was it? In 89, I jumped onto a job as a deputy sheriff, even though I should have never been anywhere close to guns, right? I did what I had to do, and the reason I did that was because there was a massive expansion in law enforcement and prisons throughout the country, and there was an opportunity there, and I seized it. And I went to school, and I didn't even finish a year of college before I got into the sheriff's department and got my great job. So just to let you, Joe, know you never met me. I've never met Joe Rogan. I don't have any affiliation with this organization, but I do want to send him a sincere thank you because it's coming now. You set it up for me. Thank you, buddy. So let me ask you a question. We're talking about this thing about opportunities. Thank you, Joe, for that one you just gave me. But what opportunities are you seeing right now? See, the story that we're watching and we're hearing is, oh my God, the world is coming to an end. Is it really coming to an end? I don't know if it is or not, but this is a prime opportunity. I mean, when I look at my life, this was the opportunity for me to pull a plug on something I was going to hesitate to do. See, prior to COVID-19, I never would have actually spent the money that I'm spending to spend 5 months in the Florida Keys. I would have kind of held off on that, been a little more conservative. But the way I see it, if there's ever going to be another chance for me to do it, I don't know when. So this is my opportunity to jump off on that. And just like I mentioned with Joe Rogan, this is an opportunity for bring my game up, bring my A game to this thing called podcasting and get someone's attention and say, hey, listen, I'm out here and what I say matters. There's some shit here you could learn if you just stop and take the time to listen. See, someone's going to grab it. What do you see in your life right now? Where are you going in your life? And what opportunities do you see to get there? What opportunities have been created by this thing that most people think is the end of the world? I don't know, that's where it starts, right? Huh? There are people sitting around now crying in their cereal because, well, they're on unemployment and things are tight. Okay, well, if things are tight, do something about it. Take action on it. Find that opportunity. Capture something that you see as a way out, a way to push ahead. Because I guarantee you, COVID or not, there are people right now who are flourishing. There are people right now who are growing and expanding and are energized in their life. I mean, I don't know. Joe Rogan just got that deal with Spotify. If that isn't growing, and you're probably thinking, well, yeah, but that's Joe Rogan. He's famous and he's rich and he has connections. How do you think he got those connections? Well, he got those connections by working, by pushing, by seizing opportunities. I mean, I imagine when Joe had the opportunity to go to a party, if there was a chance he was going to meet someone, he would go. Because that's what you do. I mean, being Joe Rogan and creating that persona is how he became the superstar he is. But it was about opportunities, and it was about making those opportunities happen. I mean, when you look at me in this podcast, I'm seizing an opportunity. I'm seizing the opportunity to tell Joe Rogan thank you. To tell the world, hey, guess what? I can be better than that. Not that Joe isn't a badass. Joe is a badass. But I'm just saying, I can be that. And all it amounts to is what I think about it. See, the idea that a lot of people think is that they drive or they live off this motivation that comes from people around them, comes from people and what other people think. To tell you the truth, I don't care what you think about my podcast or anything I do. What I care about is what matters is what I think about my podcast. And right now, you know what? Feeling pretty damn good about it. You know why? Because this is number 44 and I haven't missed a beat. And that includes a video and a podcast every day. And that's how you do it. If you look at Joe Rogan's portfolio, how did he get it done? The man will spend 2 years practicing a comedy set before he ever tries it out. He will go to the comedy club, he'll throw a few things out here, he'll work on it before he ever does an HBO special or he ever does a televised event with him doing stand-up comedy. Now, what's cool about it is Joe don't put any practice at all into doing his podcast. He sits down, he might smoke a joint or whatever he does, and and they just kick it. And I don't know. And it worked. You know why? Because Joe's Joe. But thank you, Joe. Opportunities are coming my way. So bringing me to you, I'm doing it. I'm going to do it with you or without you. I hope you'll come along. But if you don't, someone will. Someone will pick up on it. But since you're sitting here and you're listening, let me ask you one more time. What opportunities are you seeing in all this? Forget about how bad it is or how much struggle you're facing. Forget about that. That shit doesn't change anything. What changes anything is action. Action based on solid opportunities that you see. Someone is making money. Someone is going to live their best life through the COVID-19. I imagine the people who manufacture some of these products are rocking it. Did you think about getting 3 sewing machines and 3 friends and start making masks and selling them online? You were about a week and a half worth of education and a whole lot of work away from making that shit happen. Oh, I'm out of money. Oh, my goodness. What can I do? Well, you could seize the opportunity to make money. And how are people making money right now? People are making money on food delivery. People are making money on masks and supplies that are related to COVID-19. People are making money on information about this shit. People are making money by creating opportunities for other people, by giving other people things that they need. It's just a matter of what you see. See, the world, no matter how bad things get, someone is going to be fine. And it's those people who are approach life with their eyes wide open, with the idea that no matter how bad it gets, there's an opportunity there for me. And they look for it, and they're willing to change, and they're willing to be flexible, and they're willing to acquire new skills, and they're willing to face their fears. That's how heroes are made. That's how success is created. So I did a podcast a while back about success. I think it was Success is Not Sexy, and I had this cute girl. I don't know if it's been posted yet or not, but that's the truth. The success you see with Joe Rogan or with anyone else, even me, you don't get to see the years of concrete, curb and gutter. I remember I used to pull 12-inch steel backs off of a truck that was taller than I was. I'd carry them things. They're about 125 pounds a piece across the parking lot set in forms, because I needed them. I couldn't wait for the truck to be moved. The fronts of my pants would be wore out. I wore jeans. They would be strings in the front. That style and fashion statement that people are making now. And women, they got the knees cut out and parts of the ass are cut out and there's just strings. I was the innovator in that. I was a concrete worker at 26 years old, and I guarantee most of my jeans were strings in the front. In fact, it got so bad, what I would do is I'd take 2 pair of jeans. I'd take 2 pair of wore out jeans. I'd cut the legs out of the back of one, and I'd sew them into behind the front and the front of the legs of the other ones to try and double up my protection against wearing those jeans out. Yeah. And now they make double layered jeans. Carhartt makes them, and a few other companies make them. Opportunity for me, man. Joe, one more time. What opportunities do you see? What are you going to create with those opportunities? What do you become because this thing called COVID-19 or anything in your life happens? I mean, I could go on. You want to think about opportunities? You never would have thought that the death of someone you love would be an opportunity, but it was. In 2011, actually New Year's Eve of 2011, my dad died. Can you imagine that? Every New Year's I get to remember that. But within that and within all that struggle, guess what? There was an opportunity. There was an opportunity for me to reinvent myself, to step away from all the anger and the shitty attitude and all the crap that I had become, and to find something new. And guess what? This is where it's at. This fifth wheel I live in, where I travel all over the country and I get to do the things I love to do, that's what I created. That was the opportunity that was presented in the loss of my dad's life. And I thank him for it, because he used to say, he'd always tell me, I remember his big old hands, he'd pat me on the shoulder and he'd say, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. You'll be all right, you know? And he was just this eternal optimist. And when he died, it made me think about my life, and it made me realize the opportunities that I still had to live, the opportunities I still had to take full advantage of this thing called living. That's why this, your life, your best life defined, I don't know what you call it. I mean, you call it whatever you want, but you have the right and you deserve to actually go out there and live your best life, to wake up every day excited about some aspect of your life that you get to do. See, when I first started doing this, it sucked, man. I had a knot in my stomach. I was feeling crappy, and I wasn't sure if I could even get it done. But the more I did it, the more I realized, wait a minute. I got this. I can nail this. And now that Joe Rogan's gone, I mean, he's not gone. Shit, he'll always be here. In fact, I think aliens listen to his podcast, right? But he moved to Spotify. There's an opening. There's an opening for the entire rest of the podcasting community because he's sold to Spotify. And what does that leave for me or you? I mean, hell, you could take it. See if you wanted to. Did it feel like this is an ass chewing? I'm feeling kind of excited. I don't know if you noticed the background music's kind of picked up a pace, because I didn't want to come into this all kind of low key, because this is really important for me. This was inspiration. In fact, I was sitting here, and I think I spend way too much time thinking about you guys. I really do. I'm always sitting here thinking about it. Well, how can let me try this angle, or let me try this graphic, or let me try this, because I'm really, really trying to get your attention. Not because of what you can do for me, but because of what I can do for you. You realize I am debt-free, and I was a high school dropout, and my wife was a high school dropout. And I did all this. Not only that, but I got 3 kids, 3 grown children who don't need us. They love us, they want us in their lives, but they certainly don't need us. I'm living my dream, and even if this doesn't go anywhere, I'm still living my dream, because you know what? It is cool. It's cool to do something that no one else has done. And that's really the issue, and it's only happening because no matter where you are, there are opportunities in front of you. You just have to open your eyes and look for them, and guess what? Sometimes that requires you to step out of your box. Sometimes it requires you to just kind of look around the corner of that life you're living into other people's lives and into other things you've never experienced, just long enough to say, oh, what? Wait. There are people who make a living doing podcasts. There are people who make a living doing what they love. There are people who make a living racing mountain bikes. There are people who make a living fishing. And even if they don't make a living, there are people who work shitty jobs, and as soon as they get off, they roll out to the lake, or they roll out the backpack or the mountain bike, and they go kick ass until the sun goes down. Opportunities, man. They're all around you, and I don't care what condition the world is in unless it completely stops. There will always be an opportunity for those who are looking for it. Don't be sitting around on your hands. And if you do, and your life goes to shit, guess whose fault it is? It's your fault. Yep. Straight and simple. It's your fault. Because, I mean, I'm not the only one out here doing it. I'm a tiny fish in a big-ass pond. And if I'm doing it, how many other people are giving you similar messages and giving you similar ideas? I mean, if nothing else, how many books did you read while you were sitting home waiting to go back to work? How many things did you do to educate yourself? How much time did you spend researching your other options for employment and other things you could be doing? This COVID-19 sitting still was not a burden for people who are ready for it, people who are willing to say, you know what, I got this. That's fine, and it sucks, and it's scary, and I wonder where I'm going to be in a year, or I'm going to be in 2 years. But the truth is, the wheels don't stop for people who seek and are trying to find opportunities. The wheels didn't stop for me. The wheels didn't stop for my children either. And there are people out there who weren't working, waitresses and restaurant workers and all those affected employee jobs that are just like they're growing. They have a new job. It's a shovel or it's whatever it is, but they are continuing to grow and to work. Now, the best thing for you to do is to grab those opportunities that lift you up. So, I don't know. I mean, take a look around. You can sit around, draw that unemployment. You can sit around and wait for the world to come back to normal so you can get back to your normal life. Or you can start looking for opportunities. And if you don't have the skill set, you can go after it. You can do whatever it takes to get it because the information is there. You can get a master's degree, a doctorate degree in any specific discipline if you just get on the internet, if you just start searching for that information. Don't be waiting around for somebody to do something or waiting around for someone else to take action so you can actually accomplish your goal. Bullshit. People who are successful, people who want to live their best life are the kind of people who don't wait for it. They go after it. They look for those opportunities. And that's just a simple fact of it. I don't know why it is that I timed this podcast and starting Your Best Life Defined when I did, but it's an opportunity for me. Opportunity for me to learn how to public speak, how to convey my voice. It's a perfect opportunity for me to understand the combination between audio and video and all these skills I've acquired with regard to graphic design because as you see it, or as I've said before, I do it all. Every morning I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I work on my book, which, by the way, first draft is done. I'm excited about it. This evening I'm going to spend a hell of a lot of time. I'm really pushing to get this thing out there because I think it will make a difference. And right now is the perfect opportunity because it's about living your best life. And I think that's what we need to get back to. I think the mistake that a lot of us have made is we've allowed this distraction in these devices and in these screens we stare at to guide our thinking to the point we've lost track of who we are. I mean, it doesn't take a wizard for me to figure out that I do not like mowing lawns as much as I like mountain biking. I do not like spraying weeds or organizing the garage as much as I like hiking in the mountains, or our newest adventure is going to be kayaking. We've never owned kayaks before. I've done it a couple of times, but we're headed to Florida in a resort with water on three sides. Why the hell wouldn't we own a kayak? It's an opportunity for us to learn something new. And I'm going to bring you along on it. I'm going to bring you right there. I'll tell you how it goes. But this ain't stopping. This is my opportunity to grab my piece of that pie called Podcast Universe, right? And thank you, Joe Rogan, for giving it to me. Man, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm sure people will be like, oh, yeah, this is just a ploy to get attention. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, this is a ploy to get attention, to let you know that I'm out here, to let you know that I am going to be unforgiving in the amount of podcasts I put up and the videos I put up. And even if you don't dig it, don't watch it, don't listen to it. It isn't going to matter to me. It isn't going to affect my universe any because someone will. Because when you split it out, to what it really is, listening to this podcast and the information that I'm sharing with you is an opportunity for you to escape the life you're living and to live something better, to escape the life you inherited from your family and your parents and your friends, and to start living a life based on who you are and what fires your rocket. I mean, imagine. Not every day in my life is like waking up on Christmas Day when you're 7 years old, but it's pretty damn cool. I mean, I've got my rhythm. In fact, I'm sitting here as I'm talking to you, I'm getting excited because I know when I get done with this, I'm going to jump on my mountain bike. I'm going to bust my ass again because part of it is making my life better. Working out and staying strong is making my life better. And it's just one more opportunity. So look at your opportunities. See, working out is not the burden. It's an opportunity for you to grab what you can and take control of that portion of your life you can and to become something better because of it. And that's really what living is. I mean, can you imagine sitting still in a pond once you get all your shit and just sitting still and doing nothing more until you die? What the hell sense does that make? Come on, be a rock star. That's really what it's about. And it all starts when you settle down and you say, what opportunities are out in front of me? What opportunities are out in front of me? And where am I going with my life? Sound like an ass chewing? You know what? Sorry if it is, but maybe you need an ass chewing, because the truth is I look around and I see a bunch of people who are miserable in their lives, who struggled even before COVID-19, and the truth is that it takes something to shake you up to get you out of it. And shame on you if you got hit in the face by this thing called COVID-19 and turned your life upside down, and then you jump back into the same pile of crap. Because for all you can tell me, and everybody out there, oh, I'm happy. The life I was living when I was living that life, it was sucking because I didn't have time for anything I loved, and I didn't have time to even think about opportunities because I was running around chasing my life like a young dog off a leash. And I never did catch it until I finally just stopped, till I seized the opportunity to go ahead and get rid of all that shit I owned, and I started living the kind of life I want to live. because it was an opportunity. Look for those opportunities, and I guarantee you, you'll find them, and they will make your life better. And that's really what it's all about, ain't it? Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate it. And thank you for showing up and sharing this information and listening to my bullshit. I don't know. I'm just going to keep working on it, keep growing with it. And I hope you'll do the same because, we only get one chance at every moment we live. So why not live it to our best, okay? So until next time, just remember, my name's Chris Jaquez, and today is your day. Make it a good one.